tuppenscoloured.co.uk. Thank you for joining me. Today I am sharing this little card, which is a extended pop-up card. When you open it, it pops up. Close it. It's very easy to make and they're a lot of fun, and if you'd like to stick around, I'll show you how I did it. For this card, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 11 1/4 inches by 5 inches, and that will make you a card with a finished size of 3 3/4 inches square. You're also going to need a piece of scrap paper that is cut to the same size, because you're going to use this to make a template to help you position your stamp inside the card and inside the pop-up mechanism. So you're going to score your piece of scrap paper at 3 3/4 inches, 7 1/2 inches, and long ways at 1 1/4 inches. This is going to help you position your stamp, as I said, and with any luck will stop you from having a nasty groove down the middle of your stamped image, because you're going to use this to help you position. Now I folded corner into corner, and I'm going to fold this side corner to corner. So basically I'm bisecting. I appreciate white on white isn't the easiest thing to see, so when I put this on my blog with all the dimensions, I will put some I'll put some diagrams as well. And I'm going to cut off this bit and all of this bit, and I don't have to be too careful about it, don't have to be too precise about it, because at the end of the day this is not going to be seen by you don't have to be too careful about it. This is just to help you position your stamping. Right, so I've got one more thing, actually two more things to do, and I'm going to fold that edge up to that edge, and I'm going to take a piercing tool, and where those two lines cross, I'm going to poke a little hole. That's going to help me a little bit later on. Right, and so now I'm going to fold the card so that I've got a diagonal fold that goes right through from that corner, right through down to that corner. So I'm going to lift, and I'm going to do the same from that corner to that corner. That's my best way to do it that way. So now I've got a sort of arrow shaped piece in the middle here, and this is going to be my template to help me position my stamping on the card. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to place it on top of my very vanilla card, and with a pencil I'm going to mark, and I'm going to mark very lightly through that hole in the middle, because that is going to help me when I come to fold my card in a little while. Spring Summer 2015 catalogue, and you can also purchase a companion set of framelits dies which will allow you to cut out the images that you've stamped. So I've mounted up my image onto a clear block, and I'm going to remount it actually, because I want it going up and down. Okay, now as you can see it's clear. It may be a little bit stained, but it's not going to affect the way that it works. And I'm going to start off with crisp cantaloupe, I think. Make sure that's on properly. I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now you will notice that I'm using my rather old and disreputable stamping mat. It's well loved. I've had it quite a number of years, and the reason why I'm using it is because with photopolymers there's no cushioning, so you really do need to have something underneath underneath your stamp to make sure that you can get a good, nice, crisp image. Now I'm lining it up between those two marks that I made earlier on using my template, so let's get that nice and vertical and push down for a nice, crisp image. And that's not too bad, is it? It's not too bad at all. Right, got my inky binky here, and I've cut some masks. This is just out of ordinary copier paper, the thinner the better, and I've put Tombow glue on the back and allowed it to dry. Now if you do that with Tombow, it becomes repositionable, and it means that you can use it to create masks. Now I could have cut the mask using the framelits, but when you do that, there is the framelit is slightly bigger all the way around than the image, and you get a white edge, and if possible I don't want that, because I'm going to stamp a couple more balloons and I want them to look as though they are behind this one. Let's get that nice and straight, because that's not quite straight. There we are. That's better. Okay, so that was crisp cantaloupe. So now let's use, this is So Saffron. Again, and I'm going to wipe off the bits where I've kind of overshot the runway with my Inky Binky, and I'm going to stamp that there. And again, I'm giving it some welly because I want a nice crisp image. Okay. And again with the Inky Binky, and this time I'm using Pool Party. Now, the reason why I'm using, it's actually a muslin nappy rather than a piece of paper towel, is that I can throw this into the washing machine afterwards and I can use it again and again and again. Okay, so yeah, not too bad, but I want to give these stamps, give this a bit of texture. So this is another stamp from the same set, and let's go back with the Pool Party, and let's have that there. That's rather nice. And this is So Saffron this time that I'm using, and again, and now I can take the mask away, and I've got a bit of a shadowing around it, but you know what, I'm not gonna obsess over it. You know, if you haven't got the camera on you and you've got a bit more time to do things, you can get it looking pretty kosher, can't you? So that's, yeah, that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that. So shall I push my luck? Yes. Okay. So this time I've got early espresso, and I'm very cautious of this because in an earlier take, as you can see, I put my hand in it and ruined the card I was doing. So I wasn't very happy about that. So I'm going very, very lightly with the early espresso, and I'm going to stop this one. So I hope my head doesn't get into the camera because I have to hover and see where I'm going. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Hey. It's always an anxious moment. Okay, and let's do the same thing here. The problem is my eyesight these days is not what it used to be. But you don't want to hear my troubles. No, of course you don't. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's close enough for jazz. And one last stamp before we leave our stamping, and that's this one, which says Celebrate. So let's put that just across the bottom there, and we're done with the stamping. Okay, so now I've finished doing the stamping, and now I'm going to trim the card. So I'm going to put it at the 1 1/4 inch mark in my trimmer, and I'm going to trim down just to that mark that I made, and then I'm going to lift up the trimmer and I'm going to bring it down again so it's just beyond the balloons. I'm going to make sure that I've still got my card nice and straight, and I'm going to trim that bit off. I'll get that out of the way, and now I'm going to go in with my paper scissors, and I am going to do a bit of fussy cutting. There you go. So now that's all cut out. So back in with my scoreboard. I've got this one out, so I might as well. So here we go again, and it's score at 3 3/4, not 3 1/4, like I almost just did, and at 7 1/2. And now we're getting somewhere. So I've done my scoring marks, and now I'm coming back in with the template that I made before, and I'm going to line it back up over my card, and I'm going to reconfirm that little dot that I made earlier on, and I'm going to fold that back, and I'm going to make a little mark there, and I'll fold that back, and I'm going to make a little mark there because I'm going to need to join those up in a moment. So I've got my set square and a scoring tool, and I can see where that little dot is, and I'm going to line up mark to mark, and I'm going to score into the center line, and then I'm going to do the same thing from this corner, and I'm going to score mark to mark, and I'm going to score. Okay, now this is where you make sure that your fingers haven't been in the ink, because this is where the magic is going to happen. So that, and I'm going to train those folds. Train those folds nice and sharp. Now that is a mountain fold, that comes in there like that, and that is a valley fold, and that goes around like that, and that bit at the front goes back like that, and we're going to put a bit of snail. Actually, I didn't want snail there. I will, but not to worry, because I will come back in afterwards, and there's the mechanism of the card. Now to finish it off, the front of the card, I've got here a piece of it's Pool Party, and I've stamped on the back with a little bit of Versamark to give it a little bit of texture. I've die cut out the balloon, which is from the same set, but it's the one that had the happy on it, and I've stamped the word birthday, and the bunting is also from the same set, also die cut. These little bits here are from the Best Year Ever set, which is in the Celebration brochure, and Celebration is going on between January to March 2015, and for every £45 you spend, you can choose an item from the Celebration brochure absolutely free, and the stuff is absolutely lush. Okay, so that's going to be the front of my card. So a bit of snail. I will come in afterwards with my adhesive eraser, which is another marvellous thing that we have at Stampin' Up, and unstick the bit that I stuck down, but I have, believe me, if you knew how many takes I've gone through with this particular card, you wouldn't fault me for not going back and doing it again. And there it is, finished card. That's the card. I do hope you liked it. As ever, all the details are on my blog, which is www.tuppencecoloured.co.uk. I've used Stampin' Up products throughout the project. If you want to use the products, then contact your Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you haven't got Stampin' Up demonstrator, then you can shop online. The details for my online shop are also at the bottom of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll join me again soon. Bye bye now.